Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Vitaly Golomb with us. He is a Silicon Valley venture capitalist and investment banker, best-selling author of Accelerated Startup, and one of the most sought-after speakers in the world of startups. He started his career as a teenage intern and built 3 companies before going to the other side of the table. So welcome to the show, Vitaly.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Grateful to have you here. Excited for this episode. We'll dive into the first one. The first question I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Well, might as well start off with brutal honesty. My last startup cost me my marriage. And as an entrepreneur, it's easy to let your sense of identity to be completely tied to your company that you're building day in and day out for years. So don't forget that you are a person first, and your family and real personal life goals will outlast your startup. When you turn back 10 years later, make sure you don't regret all the real things you missed. Business is just a game, so it's really important to keep the perspective.
Thanks for sharing that, man. The next one I have is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
I would say always listen to your customer. I've made the mistake of thinking I know what the industry needs as an insider. And as funny as it sounds, you can be too smart for your own good. You should conduct experiments as quickly as possible and put something in front of real users. They will really tell you what they want to buy. Just go with it and don't try to be too clever. Don't try to over-educate your customer.
And what's your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Well, in real estate, it's location, location, location. In entrepreneurship, it's focus, focus, focus. Everything for everyone is not a business plan. In fact, you should try to narrow your target market and problem set you're trying to solve as much as possible at first. Succeed with that and expand from there. So we call that land and expand. And, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither will you build any long-lasting, valuable business very quickly.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I would say, don't rush into a career or end up somewhere accidentally. Before you make any long-lasting decisions like that, do your research. Do more research than you think is possibly needed. And be damn sure that this career has a long and interesting future, given where technology is headed, and it's going to be changing quite a bit in the near future. And it's something that you really want to dedicate your non-refundable lifetime to. So when you are ready and confident in your decision, don't let anyone slow you down or make you feel insecure. Set your goals, put your head down, and push through all the challenges.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Most people define happiness by being successful in something they're motivated to achieve. If you're just going through the motions in a job or a relationship, for that matter, that you hate, just to do what you love on the weekends, you're certainly going to be the opposite of happy. So figure out what makes you feel successful and accomplished. That is also something realistically accessible to you. For example, I'm not going to be in the NBA anytime soon. So set the goals and get there. That's really what it's all about.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I have many favorite books, not the least of them, of course, mine, Accelerated Startup. But one I find myself recommending a lot is a book called Spent, Sex, Evolution, and Consumer Behavior by Jeffrey Miller. It's a hilarious twist on evolutionary psychology and economics, and will teach you a lot about how people think, especially in business or consumer context.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
Nothing worth doing is easy. It can always shake the indecision or insecurity out of people because it's true.
Yes, I love it, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where is the best place for people to find you online?
You can find me at golomb.net, my website, golomb.net, or on Facebook, facebook.com/Vitaly Golomb.
Perfect. Thanks again, man. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.